start. Oh, Lee spun. But look at that. Panels to the inside. Oh. Here we go, Deck. Is he going to hold it? Oh, they make contact. Mata comes across the line. And for the fourth time, he is your VSL champion. Hello everybody and welcome along to VSL F1. This is Season 8, Round 9 of the season. We are at the final few moments of the season. At the end of this last round, which will be in Round 12 in about 4 rounds time, we will know who is the VSL Season 8 champion. And we head to a circuit where we saw plenty of controversy back in the day, where we saw Prost and Senna come together pretty much 2 seasons in a row, one in 1989 and one in 1990. Senna ruined his chances in 1989 and Prost ruined it in 1990. It is of course the Japanese Grand Prix. My name is Jess and joining me as per usual, it is of course Mr. Evil Dragon. Liam, how you doing?
Indeed, and welcome along everyone to Imola. The admin's just changed it, he's just deleted the tweet. He deleted it right there, I saw it get deleted.
We saw it.
We're now racing at Suzuka. For Season 8, apparently. I'm pretty certain are we in Season 7?
No, Season 8. It is Season 8.
We're in Season 8. Okay, thought for a second someone put the wrong season. No, that would have been entertaining. But we have cars on the circuit. Now, both of us have a few technical issues before. Well, one, my computer didn't turn on for about 30 minutes, so that was entertaining. Jess's internet decided to turn into a questionable thing. The game was very laggy on my screen as well, which is thoroughly entertaining. It's going to crash, isn't it, again, for me? But, as... I don't know how to pronounce second position, Jess. How do we pronounce his name?
Dara.
There we go. As I'm going to pronounce it Darragh somehow into here, so that's going to happen. I can't press R1 to change camera. What is going on with the game?
Well, it's kind of a bug that happens on the game. Well, so you try and fix that.
It's crashed.
Has your game crashed?
Oh dear. Oh no.
Well, luckily I'm not showing the game at the moment, so I should be able to invite you. But whilst we do that, we will take you back to what happened last time out, which was a couple of weeks ago, in fact. It was Imola, and we saw drama, we saw chaos, we saw some great battles actually. We saw Kieran take his second win of the season, and what a delight for him as well, because Kieran is in the Alfa Romeo, which doesn't live that far from obviously the Imola circuit. So the Tifosi were pretty much happy that at least a Ferrari-powered car would win a race, not gonna lie. But anyway, so that is what happened then. We'll go obviously through the championship standings. So Evil usually does this, but I'll do it this week. First hosted a Suzuka race back in 1987, but the first Japanese Grand Prix was in 1976. Quite interesting things happened since then. Obviously, of course, we had Michael Schumacher's first Ferrari win back in 2000, which, to be honest, I could always get emotional when I think about that Ferrari win as well. 2005, Raikkonen winning from 17th, but of course, the title deciders that we talked about. And of course, Damon Hill, the famous words that Mr. Evil Dragon likes as well, which he might say later on in the broadcast. So I'm trying to find you.
I've got an invite. Don't worry, we've got this.
Okay, all good. So whilst I was trying to find an invite, it was all good. So without further ado, now Evil is back in the game, we shall get started with qualifying. And a few changes in the driver line. We mentioned the P2 man, Dara, who's on the mediums, and we saw someone that's spin. Well, you can't, but I was able to see someone that spins. We've got we've got P, who's no longer a full-time driver. Now Iceman is replacing him for the rest of the season. Risky's not here tonight, he's at work. So Red Matt is in the McLaren. I'm trying to think who else is replacing who. I think we've got I'm just trying to think. I think that's it. I think that's everyone I just talked about as well. As Yaham has retired from the session. But we'll wide and wide with Kieran as he heads towards the famous 130R, which people could very bravely get an overtake through there, but I would recommend not to do that. But anyway, Liam, you may as well take us through on board with a hot lap around this beautiful circuit.
Yes, so I shall take us through this hot lap here as, oh dear lord, this is intriguing what I'm watching right now. What on earth am I seeing on my screen? Oh my god. Right. There is a car. Oh dear, right. I think hang on.
Well, to sum it up correctly, Liam can see different to what I'm seeing at the moment. At the moment, mine's fine.
Why? I can't shit. There we go. Right, what car are we looking at?
Kieran.
Right, hang on. There we go to Kieran. And here we are then, up the hill. My game was having a bit... It's very laggy currently. I don't know what's going on F1 right now. It's very laggy. At least, though, I'm seeing a car as he comes through into Degner 1, into Degner 2, down on the brakes then. Up through the gears, Iceman across the line now, 128.921 for my screen at least. I don't know what it says for you, but intriguing things are going on right now. Into the hairpin, up through the gate. Yarham's already out of the session I've seen, by the way, so I don't know what's happened to him as he comes through down towards Spoon, down the hill. Timo for a 127.675 as here comes Kieran into the left.
You're seeing 128, not 127.
It says 127 for me, so I'm going to go for it. Kieran there, running wide, but gets it all cooked up and has invalidated as well. So, slight technical difficulties. At least, well, I mean, it could be worse.
At least the stream's working.
Yes, at least I'm not working. The stream might be working. So, this is good. Thoroughly entertaining. I can see everyone. I can go into the pit lane, apparently. This is interesting. Well, nonetheless.
His red mat has spun and one of the Degners. That's not what you want to do. He's in the gravel. Luckily, he avoided the wall there as we head towards the hairpin nearly almost as well. We'll see if anyone else is on a lap that we could go on board with. I think we've got a few out laps at the moment. So we've got Lee, who's just about... So let's take you on board with a hot lap with Out Evil going. Oh, God. So turn 1 and 2... has DRS zone. There's incredible downforce on these cars, and the S section is the hardest complex to perfect because it goes from turn 3 all the way into turn 7, and it stays level throughout the whole time. You basically got to... You can lift a few times, but if you don't brake too much, then you're going to end up pretty much in the wall. Past Dunlop and into the first Degner, then 2-part corner complex, and clip the inside curb in just a little bit, and very nicely done. He had a little bit of a swerve, does Lee? In the AlphaTauri. Then heading towards the hairpin, a great overtaking opportunity, and you could dive it up the inside in the race, but in qualifying now you need to take the wider outside line. That is what gains you the most time in this qualifying session, but that's not where the points are scored, of course. Heading towards Spoon Curve, and it's named after the shape of the two corners, but another challenging complex, and it does take a while to nail, as I found out on a few races on this game. And you're going to be squirting the throttle before turn 13 as you just head towards 130R. You'll be going almost around about 185 to 190 miles per hour, depending on what setup you have. And we saw the slipstream that we got in that corner with Fernando Alonso back in 2005. Those were the good old days. So Lee goes up to the line, and it is a 130.271. So we crossed the line there. We've got a Ferrari who is Flexi, who hasn't set a lap yet, but he's going to go on another one right now. But, you know, our championship leader at the moment, Timo, is currently in their fastest, 128.675, closely followed by Iceman with a 128.977. And we've got Slenderman, who's going on a lap now, Kieran's teammate, and Kieran, the only one who set his lap time on the mediums.
Yeah, on a medium size, 129.320. I think it's all synced up now. The leader's got a 128.675. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
Second place, 128.977.
We're all good.
Yes, it's working. It's synced up. A bit of a desync. It's per usual with my... Well, I've done it probably both. Running a board here. It was. I have had it on all day, so that might be the issue.
Kieran has had a bit of a moment on his second medium run, and he's cut the corner, and that's Wait, how did he get away with not invalidating that lap? Okay.
Meanwhile, Ryan through the last couple of corners into the Casio triangle, up through the last corner into the right-hander, and across the line there to see what he could do. Hoping for a top 10, but he's only 11, so he's not in the top 10 so far. We've got Matt of Red currently going through the S's section right now, and that's at a medium tyres. You come up towards Dunlop Corner, which of course named after the tyre brand Dunlop. The only Dunlop corner like matters to me though is Dunlop Bridge, that of course being at Le Mans as well, if you do not know that one as well. That is turn 3 as we run on board Friv Blue Mat under the Emirates side, under the figure of 8, the only circuit in Formula 1 to be a figure of 8 track. The only other circuit I can think of that has a figure 8 is, well, technically, Tringo Motegi, I suppose, if you do count the oval, and also the Top Gear test track, which just doesn't exist anymore, so there's that one. So, let's see what Blue Mac can do then as he comes down into the spoon. Is he going to be nice through here? Is he going to fork it? He's very much forked it as Randy goes, and, well, unfortunately, he's not gone for the spoon, he's gone for the fork, and it's not gone well.
Well, that's the second person who's on the medium tyres who spun their spoon curb, so it just goes to show the mediums are quite difficult on your hot laps. Mike came across the line in P10, 1:30.379. I don't think he improved his lap time there as well. We got Hayden, who has unfortunately invalidated. We'll see more people coming across the line. We have got Newgarden up to the line and P12. Respectable lap time for him. Then we got the Alpine, one of the Alpines anyway, crossing the line. That is Ryan Berry, about to start on his run, doing quite well at the moment. As Cam saying in the chat that he doesn't know what's going on with his pace right now. In the half, quite sitting in 18th at the moment as Ryan Berry has messed up his lap completely and he's hit the wall and he's out of the qualifying session. So that is his day done and dusted, but at least he's set a lap. He's done better than what Johan could do anyway. So Iceman has been validated.
Yes, I've noticed. Apart from the fact there's gravel pouring out of his car and every single thing, he hasn't broken his front wing from that, which I find fascinating indeed as he teleports into the sky on my screen right there, which is also interesting. Meanwhile, we've got Dara, who is on a lap time right now in the Mercedes-Benz AMG Petronas car. It's a very long name, I will admit, as he goes through in to spin. He doesn't, yeah, he's on his out lap, but he hasn't spun, which a few people have done so far. Looking through the field to see who's on what. Mike across the line right now, and he's 6 thousandths up on his time. We've got Newgarden down by 6 seconds on his lap time right now. Up front, we've got Timo up by a little bit more. He's going in quick. I'm on 28.545. In comes Iceman Slender. Casper down by a second, and I'm looking through to see. We've got Mike, who's invalidated his lap time again. Newgarden's in the pit lane. So I believe the next car is going to be Dara.
Yes, Dara going to be starting his run then. He hasn't set a lap time in this session. One of our new reserves here at VSL, so a big welcome to him. He joined the Discord and saying, hey, how do I join this league? And he wanted a full-time drive. Obviously, we didn't have many full-time seats left, so we offered him a reserve seat, and he's got his first chance here tonight. To be honest, a very tricky circuit if you are a pad user, not going to lie, and even a tricky circuit for a wheel user as well. I find this circuit, it's fun to drive, but it's very, very difficult. One of the most difficult on the game is Dara. Unfortunately, I put the worst commentator's curse on him in my life, and he's invalidated as I go on board with Cam, and he's spun. So hopefully the next person I go on board with does not spin. Ahmed, you know what to do. Just don't spin through spoon curve, please. He does not spin through spoon curve, which is good news. Almost a tongue twister there as he heads towards 130 up. Now there is a bit of a difference between top speeds going in through this straight. Now heading towards the Casio Triangle. No, it's not named after the calculator, as some people are made to believe, as I thought it was named after the calculator before someone told me it was. Yeah, there's a
calculator called Casio Triangle.
No, there's a calculator called Casio.
Oh yeah. Oh right, yeah, Casio. All right. Hang on. Yeah. No.
Yeah, which I used to own loads of Casio calculators when I was at school. I had 2 of them, so I lost one. But anyway,
I used to own a Smarty one, so
we weren't allowed to have that whilst we was at school. We would get told off. But anyway, Ahmed came across the line into P12. We got Cam, who needs. Oh no, Cam has invalidated, so he's not going to improve. Hayden is about to start his next run, and
decked up by a lot, by the way, as well. I've noticed he comes under the bridge 5 tenths up in sector 1. It was. This is a very good lap time for Deck, who's probably hoping for a good result here on those soft tyres. He's, 2 seconds nearly off the pace, 1.8 seconds off Timo, who's flying around here, as per usual. We've seen it so often, how quick he can be. Let's see what Deck can do. Makes it all nice and through there. Doesn't lose the rear end. Goes a little bit wide, but will get it all caught up on the exit. And now it's the run all the way down towards 130 degree radii. Here's the fact of this corner. However, it isn't actually 130 degrees anymore. The name still remains through there. It used to be back in the day, about 1987. Deck running a little bit low on fuel, so he's going to be hoping he gets across the line soon enough. Through the last corner, he comes into the Casio triangle. To the line, let's see what he can do. Can he get into the 129.4s? The answer to that is no. It is a 129.99, which is extremely nice indeed. We have got a lot of cars off. I think Lee's just dropped it into the first S section. I've seen other cars, let's see, but he's dropped the same place that we saw Ryan Berry drop it exactly. Aiden's out of the qualifying as well. So everyone, Jess, doesn't want to do a lap in qualifying. I don't think they like Suzuka very much.
I think it's just, well, I have watched many Suzuka races where a lot of people bin it, and it's all about damage limitation, I think, for some of these drivers as well. If you survive this track, then you're going to get to decent points. A Slenderman is purple sector 2. This looks like a very good lap as he heads towards the Casio triangle then and takes that chicane very nicely indeed in that Alfa Romeo. Kieran won a few weeks ago, and I'm sure Slenderman wants to add to the Alfa Romeo win trophy. Didn't have a good final sector though. He's in P3, but set the exact same lap time as Iceman there, which is quite insane. So I want to see both their laps actually. Oh, Dara, I just went on board with Dara, and he's got no front wings. So yes, that's his quali over.
It would appear just that he's hit something, and as he passes Acorn right there, his fellow Mercedes driver, there's been an issue right there. It's waiting. Yellow flags in every single sector, by the way. I have noticed. Tony can have yet to set a lap time at all in this qualifying, along with Dara, who is just going to be going in to the pit lane. Don't hit the pit wall, please. Thank you very much. He stopped it that time. I've seen many cars hit that pit wall. It's not fun. Hit the pit wall. Iceman, 310 subs. He comes through into 130 yards. Spot the braking center on the left. Chuck it into the Casio triangle. Right, left. Then get gentle on the front because it's so easy for the rear end to take a snap hit. Run it close to the wall, and it's going to be provisional pole then. 128.4. And now Timo is going to have to try and do that. Slenderman is off into the wall. So he's not doing that.
Off.
Yep, so he's on an out lap. We've got 56 seconds to go in qualify. Casper on a lap time as well as he comes down into the hairpin. A little bit of a lock up on the front left. Gets it nice and stopped then. So what's his sector split going to look like in just a few seconds time as he comes up in towards Spoon Corner? And let's see if it's going to be a nice spoon for him, or is it going to be a very rusty spoon? It's not going to be rusty, it's going to be nice. We like a nice, good spoon for Casper. And let's see what he can do then up towards the split. And is it going to be up? Is it going to be down? The answer to that, it is up 0.4 of a second. This looks good. It could be a very close there. Let's see if he can put it in between Timo and Iceman. He needs to find about 7 temps realistically to get up there. Through he comes into the last corner. Keeps it nice and gentle. You can see him taking a snap on the front. Cross line, third position there. Jumps up ahead of Slenderman. Next up, we've got, I believe, one of the McLarens. New Garden instead.
No, it's not New Garden. It was Ahmed who was just finished his lap. And now we have yellow flags everywhere again, as we've got, I think, Matt Ryan, who's about to cross the line. Yes, he is. We'll see if he can find improvement on his time. Can he get into the top 10? Yes, he can at 129.837. That's looking good for him. We've got Flexi, a.k.a. Mr. Sam, on his run as well. 5th position, 129.2. Then I think it's the Alpine. No, it's not the Alpine of Tony because he has unfortunately invalidated. We've got Tony in the pits. Kieran, he's improved by I think around 3 temps in the middle sector, but I'm just trying to see who's third is out of lap. Is it Kieran or is it Timo?
Timo's on a lap right now.
Kieran is going to be negotiating his final 2 corners. This could be good, but his final sector's got to be even brilliant. 4th position, so the only man that can stop Iceman is Timo, our current championship leader. So, can he do it? Can he get pole? Yes, he can, by just under 2 tenths per second to Iceman. I don't think anyone else could do it because Casper's backed off. Tony P is going to the pits. So, Timo for the millionth time this season, who is doing so well. He even started this season as a reserve, and he showed he got something to fight for, and VSL put him as a full-time driver, and he's now top of the standings. At the moment, this season, he is the man to beat.
Yeah, Timo on provisional pole, well, on pole position from Iceman. Now, the one thing I'm hoping for these drivers, it doesn't rain in the race, because, no, my luck, it's going to rain, I guess, isn't it? But hopefully it does.
I hate to spoil it to you, Liam.
It's going to rain, isn't it?
According to one of the drivers in the chat, it's going to be a full wet race.
Excellent. So, never mind. It's going to be a full wet race here today. So, basically, all the strategy is out the window. So, if you're starting on the mediums, like 3 people that tried to set lap times on the medium, well...
They could be lying to us.
They could be lying to us, but why would they lie to us, Jess?
I know. It's very crazy, that. It's very crazy, but we will go through your order at the moment. So, it's Timo on pole. Then it's Iceman, Casper, Kieran, Slenderman, Flexi, Tony P, Det, Matt Ryan, Mike, Lee, Hayden, Ahmed, Newgarden, Ryan Berry, Red Matt, who set lap times, and then we got Dara and Johan, who did not set lap times. And I wonder if people were struggling on their laps, Liam, because they got a wet setup.
I most certainly does indeed. But like I said, Timo on pole, just under 2 tenths of a second from Iceman. Casper in third, the Finnish driver now there ahead of the double Brit from the Englishman. Then, of course, well, the rest of them, apart from a few, are seemingly English. Apart from Dara, who, I don't know.
Well, we're not going to say the flags. We don't know. We should know our geographies a little bit more, to be honest. But, yes, but... we've got 2 minutes until the formation lap starts, so we will go through the championship standings. The first time we've done so in 2 weeks. So, it's not that full wet. Well, you can't see it at the moment, but it's not full wet than I was expecting. Anyway, Timo is leading the championship, 38 points to Casper's 132. We've got Tony in the Williams, 108. Flexi in 4th on 79. Slenderman 5th on 77. Kieran in 6th on 72. Matter in 7th on 69. Matter's not here tonight. He's got an important match on, so good luck to him. And someone's running up too early, so I've got to speed up too fast. Then we got Deck in 8th, Iceman 9th, J-Luke 10th. And we got Tony P, Cam, Red Matt, Ryan Berry, Matt Ryan, Hayden, Mike, Yarham, Lee, and Newgarden. Here's the second page. Don't have time to talk about that. We know that Risky's on 6 points and Bertino's on 2 points. Constructors, Ferrari are leading the way, 211 points. Aston Martin second, 176. Third is Alfa Romeo, 161. Fourth is Williams, 127. Fifth is Mercedes, 109. We've got AlphaTauri on 70. Alpine on 52. McLaren on 47. Haas with 35. And Red Bull with 26. I think I managed to get through that quite well. But we have got, on our Twitter account, Liam, haven't we? We've got a little bit of a competition going on. We will give one lucky person, one lucky follower, a chance to win the F1 22 Championship Edition, don't we?
Yes, most certainly indeed. So don't forget to head over to our official Twitter account, which will be linked below somewhere. I presume it's
at VSL_F1. So
all there as well. And I think it is our pinned tweet on there as well. So don't forget to follow us and hit like and retweet that retweet to enter as well. It's a lovely giveaway for all of us. It should be announced sometime soon, if I'm not mistaken. So in the next couple of weeks, I think.
So you've still got time to enter. You've still got time to enter. So if you can't afford the F1 game, the new one, and want us to pay for it, then you better enter the giveaway.
Yeah, indeed. Otherwise, well, if you don't enter the giveaway, then you don't get anything, and then you'll
cry.
Yeah, then we'll all be upset, and I'll sit in the corner and ponder life thoughtfully. I'll tell you what, though, for everyone saying it's wet, they are all on the intermediate tyres. It is very looking wet on my screen, which is historically normal for my screen. It looks wetter than it actually is. So there's that one, which does make for some interesting streams when I stream sometimes. But with Casper in third, Kai in fourth, Slender in fifth, from Flexi in sixth. It is the Ferrari 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, of course, the Alpine, which once wasn't an Alpine, it was well, it's many things it was, but there we are. Then comes the Stewart, then comes the Williams, then comes, well, was once a Toro Rosso, then a Minardi, then comes the Jordan, then comes the Stewart, and then, of course, comes Ryan Berry as well in what was, I believe, used to be a Renault.
A few people got disqualified from the session already, and that's
Lee
Mike and
Mike.
Lee.
Naughty, both of them. Yaham down the back alongside Cam and Tony, 7-7-65, right at the back of the field. Front guys all lined up. It's the Aston, the McLaren, then comes that Ferrari from both of the Alfa Romeos, then the Ferrari from Tony, Acom, Ryan, both the Alpha Tauris, then the Aiden N8 Speed, Ryan Berry, then comes Red Matt, Dara, Yaham, Cam, Tony at the back as we get ready to go then, here in Japan. And any second now, if you just wait a few seconds for Tony to get to the grid and then wait a few more seconds for the game to count down then. So here we are then in Japan. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Look, but never stare because the Japanese Grand Prix is underway. Everyone gets a bit of attentive start now. There's Conor the fielder. Mercedes cast 2. A big mistake now on the start. 1 through there. I think they all got a waste man there. On the inside, Kathbeck a good stop with the yellow flags at the back there. Someone's dropped it down the right of the back. It's Mike off the road. All struggling here in the treacherous conditions. But my oh my, Timo almost had a monumental shot off the start.
Yeah, he shot from first all the way down to 4. Casper's had a very good start. He jumped quite a lot of drivers. Luckily no drive-through penalty though, so it shows how reactive he was at the moment. Slenderman as well has had a good start as well with the Ferraris. I think we'll look at the positions already actually as it stands. So the person who's gained the most at the moment is Hayden, up 5 places to 7th position, and all there's almost contact from the hairpin. And what we've noticed as well, Liam, is quite a lot of people have underfueled for today's race, thinking it's going to be a safety car. Well, with the spins we had during dry qualifying, it probably won't be that surprising that we could see some today as they head towards Spoon Curve now. Kieran looking very good actually. He's getting quite a few positions too. He started 4th, up into 3rd place now. And to be honest, in the wet you don't use as much ERS. You can recharge easily. And Kieran may go for a brave move here at the moment in towards 130 hours. Both of them want one ride. That will allow Timo to capitalise maybe as well. But Casper is starting to bridge that gap as Timo has hit the bollard. Very nicely though. So we've got
down the back as that was contact between Dara and N8. We've got no front wing for Cam and Redmat, so those two have had issues. As down the straight, Acom there covering the inside. Matt Ryan's going to be brave to try wing one around the outside in the wet conditions here. Backs out of it. He can't try and capitalise, and off the road has gone Redmat. Please don't tell me he's hit the pit wall. He's hit the pit wall. Virtual safety car. And Redmat in the pit wall, and in comes Matt Ryan. Cam for a new nose, Redmat for a new nose. Luckily no safety car so far. This does allow people to little bit recharge their batteries under the safety car, and for me to try and figure out who's who right now off that start, because I said about 7 people for Timo at the start of that there, because it all kicked off because I saw a Mercedes drop it, then Timo nearly dropped it, and for a second I feared for my internals that there was going to be a monumental shunt somewhere.
Yes, there was quite a lot of things that happened in the space of pretty much a lap at the moment. And then another thing has just happened, as I said that, as Matt Ryan has got a drive-through penalty for speeding on the VSC, and drive-throughs do cost you in this race, as Tony is having a nice battle with Newgarden as they head past the hairpin then. And then they're going to be going up the hill. We see someone else going side by side. That's Johan on Dara down the inside. Johan's going to try and cover that off very well with that switchback as they head past Spoon. And now he's going to catch up with Lee Johan. Johan is a race winner, so he needs to do all he can to try and catch up. He's not had the best of qualifying sessions or even the last few races actually, so he's got to redeem himself at the moment. Tony could get Newgarden again. We know Tony the second in the Williams can be very brave on the brakes into Casio Triangle. We decide to back off while Yarham decided to get... Oh, that was a bit interesting as Dara has hit the wall there. I think there was a bit of contact for the two of them.
Yeah.
There's a risk of going for a move past 130R, isn't it?
Yeah, it just looked like a little bit daylight in a dollar shot. Dara had the line, but it just looked like they just kind of ran into each other. There was contact, then round they went, and likely that might be referred to the stewards, but bit of a mistake. Not really, I think, too much anyone could do in these wet conditions here. I was optimistic. It didn't work. I mean, we'll carry on with it. Aiden so far in 7th, holding a little position up right now. Bit of a gap up to the front. We've got the top 6 then. 7th downwards to around about 14th in the line. Then we've got the rest gaggled down at the back with issues galore. Matt Ryan in the pit lane again for a new nose. So he's having a torrid time this afternoon here in Japan under the race, which the last wet race here in Japan, if I'm not mistaken, a full wet race, unfortunately was 2014. Obviously, we all know the story of that tragic day right there. Luckily, thank you for Lee as well. The Halo now introduced, so hopefully we don't see an incident like that again, of course, because we all remember Jules Bianchi in our heart as well. Talking of people making mistakes, meanwhile, we have also got Mike having another mistake. So this is very tricky conditions here, isn't it?
It is. It's not full wet. It's not dry. It's kind of like in the middle, to be honest, where it's just raining quite light on my screen at the moment, and it's just very, very slippery. So the drivers, they've got to be on their A game as Casper send the fast lap alight. He's falling away from these guys at the moment, but look who's trying to catch up. It's Timo on Kieran as they head towards turn 1. Is he going to be very brave and go down the right-hand side? He is not, and if he does do that, he may spin, so he's going to back off just a little bit, I think, as well. We got Yarham going for a battle again on with Lee there, and there's lots of battles going up on the midfield as well. We got mini trains happening, Liam, as we've got Lee just about to get Yarham, and Yarham has spun, and Yarham is in the wars tonight. This is not good for his points chances. Hayden has got another penalty. Was it another risky move from one of the drivers, do you think, Liam?
Go side by side up the inside. I think it was up the inside of Lee there. And they just kind of wobbed into each other in these wet conditions. I mean, fair play to Yarham. He's trying to go for these moves. It's just not working out for him. No damage done from either of them, it looks like. So both of them getting away with it. Red Matt with a time penalty. But this is where you get your champions from the rest. It's these drivers that don't go for the moves and they're a little more calculated. They wait patiently. They know when to make their moves when they're indecisive. Well, sorry, when they're not indecisive, when they are decisive. You don't like to be indecisive in these types of conditions right now. I do know a few people called him indecisive. He's a lovely bloke, I will say. Meanwhile, talking of people, we've got Kai, the person I commentated with last night. The first time he's commentated in about a year, and I will say he did a very good job. Oh, Iceman! Oh, dearie me! No! How has he got that one? Well, talking of the Iceman, it was skating, literal skating. It was like an ice arena as he came out the Casio Triangle, and I mentioned it in qualifying. Just that corner is very difficult. They reprofiled it on this, the last couple. Well, I think it was on this game actually. It might have been 2019. They've reprofiled it, but before that, there was a nasty bump down there. You could still feel it in the wet conditions sometimes as well. So that's what he's got caught out on that bump as you get on the power. Flat out right-hander through there as well. It unsettles the car because it's downhill, then it flattens out. As you flatten out, that is when the car bottoms out. That's why it slides so much. But a small mistake from Iceman somehow caught it together because that could have been big.
Well done to Iceman for saving that, because that pretty much saved his bacon right there. And one of he's got, hopefully, if he hasn't got any damage from that, then that's even more of a miracle. He does not. Oh my goodness. So yes, Iceman is definitely the cat with 9 lives here today as well. And our champion, is he going to send it and do a Daniel Ricciardo into Spoon Curve? He's not, but he's got the speed. He has got the traction here in Japan. The man where everybody wants to beat, and Timo's under a lot of pressure right now, but he's certainly doing a good job. Kieran, the man who won a few weeks ago, he's also under huge pressure to get another one, but Casper's already pulling away as Timo, he's going to go down the right hand side into Casio Triangle. They make a bit of contact there, And Timo knew there was nowhere to go at the moment. He's being patient, but can he go for the move there as well? They could go side by side to start, finish straight as well. And Timo is going to get the slipstream that he desperately needed into turn 1. And is he going to be patient? Yeah, he's going to be patient. But Kieran's gone wide. Kieran has gone wide. That's allowed Timo to say thank you very much. That is my position. And he's up to P2.
Yeah, it's going to be frustrating. Johan, meanwhile, I believe, has gone around somewhere at the back end of the circuit, so I think he's dropped at 130 and caught it back up then. So he's likely gone on the curb. He's going very slowly. Has he got damage? No, he does not. So he's carrying on his merry way. We've got an 8 off the road as well as... Oh! The big old fat red mat! And that is a huge off at 130R into the wall! Out of the Japanese Grand Prix safety car! Unsurprisingly cool, because that was horrendous!
I didn't see that crash, but I see the car and, wow, that is awful. Well, a lot of people tend to lose it through 130R. Now, don't forget, if Hayden in the chat saying it was going to be wet for the entire race, these drivers can literally take these inters to the end if they wanted to. Well, according to our tyre data, they can't, but on the game, you don't have to do another stop if you don't want to. If you can manage your tyres, you can get to the end. Will we see people go for a risky strategy, or will we see some people, as Ahmed has got a drive-through penalty, the second one of this afternoon, but will we see people just hang it on until the very end, or will we go on fresh tyres? If I were them, I would go on fresh tyres, because the lighter the rain is, the more tyre wear the tyres use, and the more it degrades and stuff like that. So I think quite a lot of people will take the opportunity to go into the pits, as Casper does not. Timo's going in then. Timo's going in, so is Kieran, so is Iceman. Slenderman staying out, so does Lexi. Quite a common thing for the Ferrari-powered cars, apart from obviously Kieran, who's going into the pits. We've got Deck in, Ryan Berry's out. We've got quite a mixed bag, haven't we, who decided to go into the pits and decide to stay out there. So which strategy will pay off? Well, we don't know. We'll find out in about 20 laps time, I believe.
Red Bull coming out the pit there of Newgarden. Is Newgarden ahead? Yes, he is then.
Oh, Newgarden, he's got a drive. Wait, that's a bit harsh. Come on.
Illegal overtake. I think he's got an illegal overtake. I think he tried to get it back through. He tried to speed to get the position, then slow up, but he's done it too early. He's got a penalty from it. So, you know what I just said? Is he going to be behind? Yes, he is. However, he's done it. It's a little bit illegal, it seems. So Newgarden's... Well, he has got speed in his name. He was going a bit speedy, a bit too speedy, unfortunately, right there. And I think he's trying to let these guys through. I don't know if he's trying to let them through here, because he's definitely slowing up. That's a real shame.
That is as well. The game doesn't give you a long time to correct yourself, to be honest. I think with drive-throughs, it only gives you like 11 seconds to correct you. And what happens if the car is not directly behind you anymore? It's absolutely ridiculous. But Newgarden has got to accept that decision now and move on, and he has to serve at the end of the safety car. He can't serve it now because it's not allowed. The only thing that can be served under safety car conditions is a drive-through penalty. So he's going to hope that his race will go from worse to a bit better, and maybe another safety car would help him get on that respect. So the ones who are on low fuel, on yellow warning fuel, they have a chance to save it. Casper, though, still on yellow warning, so he's probably underfueled by a lot. But everyone else should be fine. So we've got Casper, Slenderman, Flexi, Hayden, Ryan Berry, Lee, Tony, and Newgarden all staying out. But we have got Timo, Kieran, Iceman, Tony P, Akon. They pitted. So is Yarham, so is Cam, and Matt Ryan. And of course we've got Ahmed
in. That's not gonna save your bacon, I'm afraid, Newgarden.
Newgarden probably doesn't know. He can't serve his drive-through now. He probably thinks he could, but he can't. I mean, he's gone for a new set of intermediate tyres. He'll drop himself down towards the back area of the field as he glitches out so slightly. Be close between him and his teammate. I think I'll be behind his teammate. Behind Yaha. Mike should be behind. There might be a bit close between those two. It's a long pit lane around here in Suzuka, remember? As you come down the straight, and now you go up the throttle right now, he's going to be ahead.
Yet he is calmed down in 18th. Matt Ryan in 19th. One retirement that is very much, well, it was a brown Matt moment for Red Matt because he was going into Waller.
Code red, literally. Code red.
It was very code red. There was a lot of red stuff coming out of his car because he got on the curb on the outside, caught it back up. Then what he really did is then getting back on the power, hit the curb again, and it just snapped the car right and then snapped it left. Then he caught it. Unfortunately, the cat ended up putting it back right, and well, when you hit a wall, it tends to break the car normally. So I mean, that is why he is out of this race, unfortunately. But it is the Ferrari-powered 1, 2, 3 from the Mercedes in 4th. And then comes the Renault from the first Honda car from the Williams. And then comes the Aston Martin from then Kieran. And then Iceman, Tony, Acorn, Dak. And then we've got N8, Yaham, Newgarden, Mike, Cammy. And then we've got Mr. Ryan down the back so far. Safety car will likely be in at the end of this lap.
Yep, indeed. So chance for people to get back into gear once again. And luckily Casper's got enough fuel now. So, hooray! That is good news. So, great to see. So, final chance for people to get heat into their tyres, which is a lot harder in the wet conditions. I remember, I think, last game in Silverstone, I thought that I didn't have to weave my tyres too much to get temperature. It turns out you do, because otherwise your tyres would be ice cold, and we don't want people to do an Iceman and do Ice Baby. But anyway, safety car's in, which is a bit later than normal, but hopefully everyone's got their reactions to perfection because they've got to nail this safety car restart, and Casper will be controlling the pace. And look at that, he's already flying, he's nailed it. I said he needed to do that, and everyone else has been caught off guard. Flexi has had a good start as well, so the two Ferraris have nailed this to perfection. Hayden, though, trying to catch up onto the back of these guys as well, as Newgarden is serving his drive-through. That's why everyone else got ahead of him. We've got Cam trying to get past Mike in towards turn number 1 as well, but Mike covers him off nicely. A bit of banging wheels, those two, but they just keep it on the road and be a bit patient too as well. And then we got the two Mercedes fighting tonight. Obviously, Deck's teammate Darren tonight, as he stays put too, but Casper is on another level. I was on board with him at the restart. He just knew when to go, didn't he? Everyone else didn't know, and everyone else was caught off guard. So Casper, huge advantage now.
Yeah, it was very late deciding when the safety car was going to come in, so it doesn't got a lot of chance. Meanwhile, you can see Timo trying to get past as Tony tries to get past Lee at the same time. With contact between those two, no damage done. However, right there, as you see them all skating on the throttle, they just don't look very comfortable. Timo, they're dipping a wheel on the grass. N8 dropping down the field. Is he going to look up the inside into Spoon? No, he's not. Gets on the curb for good measure. It's just about, like I said, capitalising on the other's mistakes and then getting him. You might get an opportunity down to 130 yard, but it's brave to do so in the wet. Tony will ideally try and force the issue. He's not, so the inside line. This is going to be audacious up the inside, and I presumably will say that Tony backs out of that one. Kai's off the road at the background, keeps it all together right there. So Timo elbows out up into 7th position so far. Up the road you can see Aiden, Ryan, and then Lee all in the little line there as they will squiggle themselves down the start-finish line. But it's Casper leading 1.7 from Slender and Flexi. Then, like I said, there's that battle between Aiden, Ryan, Lee, and Timo now on the back of these guys. As it's getting a little bit bunched up. That's going to be brave. There's a bit of contact. You want to be careful not to do that, my friend Timo, because behind them you've got a lot of hungry hippos right there. And hippos, it's a fun game, and I'm sure they all want to play it.
No, I mean, I played Hungry Hippos when I was a kid. Absolutely loved it, and I got annoyed when I couldn't play it anymore because I was too addicted. But yeah, I would like to play it again though. But anyway, I think we could see someone probably make a mistake with the train that close at the moment, and with no DRS, it's going to be hard to overtake. But we are seeing people being very brave with the overtakes at the moment, as we see Timo. Oh, Timo's going to go down the inside into the hairpin, and he's done that very well. Very nicely timed for the Aston Martin driver, and he is up into P6 at the moment, trying to catch up to his teammate Hayden, who's currently in 4th position at the moment. So the Alpine of Ryan Berry is in a Aston Martin sandwich. We've already done almost 10 laps of this Japanese Grand Prix, and I'm looking at the bingo card, by the way, that Matt Ryan sent. There's already one, actually 2 ticked off. Well, the obvious one, of course, but yeah, we already have 1 DNF from a certain someone. So if you are playing that bingo, then bingo for that one. Well, not one line,
Careful, Timo. He tried to go up the inside. Now he gets up the inside. He almost hit the pit wall there. You don't want to do that coming down there. I've done that before. It didn't end very well for me that day. Once upon a time, I didn't finish the race from doing that. Actually, I did finish the race, but I didn't have much of the car left. But now his team are now into 5th, and then we presume Aiden will get swiftly out of the way and not presumably hold his teammate up too much there between the Aston Martins. You can see how much he's closing in, to be fair, as well. It just looks like those tyres starting to wear out around about lap 14 to 15, ideally, is when you want to switch on for another set of intermediates. So Timo will go through the degradation later on this afternoon. Slenderman picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. As here you can see the Aston Martins swapping positions. And that looked a little bit more easy than it might have probably been. As, well, I say that as I almost run into him talking about everyone. Look, there's Iceman losing the rear again. Catches it together. I tell you what, it's like a bunking rodeo right now for some of these drivers. They're all just sliding around. It is beautiful to say here in Japan. Unfortunately, it's not getting heavier, I don't think. It's just staying intermediate conditions. But
Iceman's hit the back of Tony, the Williams, but luckily no harm done as Iceman gets the move into Spoon Curve. Wow. That was very, very brave.
I tell you what, if I was Tony, I'd be a little bit angry right there, because that I could say that might have been a push to pass, to be fair, there from Iceman. He rather just nudged him out of the way. He wouldn't have done any damage, as you can see the Tony and his Darren got the inside as well. A brave little move. He got the job done on the outside, gives him room, does Tony just about. Oh, they all bit of contact. There's a bit of argy-bargy as down the straight they come. Here's Yarham to get the slipstream. Please don't make it 3 wide in the wet. I think he's a bit too far back right now, as these two get awfully close in tandem. One in Darrow right now is going to back out of it because there'll be contact. Indeed he does. He thinks about a move back up the inside, can't quite do it either. That road though, he's still got Ryan Aiden there. You can see, look at Timo, he's bolted off into the distance so far, not really on the back of Flexi and Slenderman, so that stops really helping him. I'll tell you what though, Kai's a little bit stuck in this traffic as well, isn't he?
Yep, he is. Kieran just can't get past. He knows he's the quicker driver as well. And we've seen that sort of similar situation back in 94, actually, where it used to be an aggregate race, believe it or not. It was in 2 halves, and Damon Hill won him by 3.6 seconds. And I remember that race very well, but luckily we're not going to experience that tonight. We actually will see a good result. But I'm sure Kieran will want to be higher than 7th position and want to get past Ryan Berry up into 6th place. So let's know your predictions. We got the 2 Hasses fighting for 12th position. Don't forget top 12 in VSL score points. And if you finish out inside the top 12, you get some bonus points for fastest lap if you get it, of course. But if you get it outside the top 10, you don't get the points. That's the VSL rules, unfortunately. Here comes Dara lining up another move this afternoon. He wants to get another overtake done. He backs off, which is to be expected. You don't want to go for a move inside 130R, because I did that once and it didn't end well. As Casio Triangle, they go, clips that Apex very well, both Apexes actually, as well as Timo 139.2, so he's setting the fast lap so fast at the moment. He'll get those points. Kieran, he's going for the move on Ryan Berry. He goes to the right hand side, which is a common move, and he switches back to the left, up to 6th. Iceman does the same thing to Lee. Can he cover him off? Yes, he can. Iceman up to 8th, and now he's going to challenge Ryan Berry for P7. Don't forget, Iceman started near the front, and now he's dropped down to 8th, but obviously he was the guy who pitted. Talking of people that pitted, by the way, Timo is doing the best out of the ones who made the stop under the safety car. 5-lap-old Inters, and he's already catching up to the ones who've been on the Inters for so long. Are the Inters starting to die? Because it is going to get to a point where it will, because they last about the same time as the medium. So Timo is in a good position right now.
There's Darren up the inside in towards the hairpin. Can't quite do it there. Fix back going up the inside and the second part of the hairpin. Still can't quite do it. Guess what? He gets back up the inside to the next part of the hairpin on the exit. They do it. The answer is just about. They run. He's on the grass. He's getting through. He's in the grass. He's Yarham as well. And C-Cam, is he going to just try and get up the inside as well? We brave stuff there as these two get close. Now you got the inside cam because he's offline. Now you got the job done. Never mind, he's hit him. So never mind that one. And now Joachim's going to try and go up the inside. Still can't go do it because he's hit him. So everyone's hitting each other right now. And the two Hasses get a bit close together as well again. And Cam, from trying to make a move, ended up having to back out of it because I don't think Tony saw him. Casper, the fast lap of this race on those warm medium tyres. It definitely looks like it's getting a bit sunnier. No, it doesn't look like it's going to get sunnier enough. I don't know if we're going to see any of these drivers dive into the pit lane soon, though. We are getting towards the stage where we believe that the stops are going to come in for the likes of Ryan, Aiden, and of course the top three as well, around about lap 14 to 16. Ideally is when you want to start coming in, I reckon, to get the benefit of those tyres. Though I presume, Jess, they're waiting for a safety car.
I think they are, and don't be surprised if we get more than one, to be honest, the way this is going with the trains and stuff. But for our sakes, let's hope they have some clean battling as the two Hasses. Oh, if you don't want to make contact in the S's, my friend, you've got to brake early when you're following another car. If you brake about the same distance as you normally do, then bang, that's when the troubles hit. And Joachim almost got the move set 2, and Hayden's off. Hayden is off. Is that going to trigger another safety car? And just as I said, there could be another safety car. Bang, bang, bang. There is another safety car. And that is at the middle, at the end of Degner 2 there. So I think that's another commentator's curse there. And if I were the ones on 13 lap old mediums, I would pit, because the ones on fresh inters, they're just going to get past you. But you never know if these guys can manage for the rest of this race on inters, on the inters they were on, then fair play to him. We'll see what Casper can do, however, on those going through the final few corners. Is he going to come in? No. Well, he's going to want track position, and I'm sure the ones we haven't pitted yet are going to do the same. Not if you're Slender Man, though, and not if you're Flexi.
Wow. Casper, this is not for the first time he's decided to stay out under the safety car then for a gamble. The last couple of times, it hasn't worked for him. Kieran, though, back up into third position now. Timo in second. I tell you, that's a rotten luck for Aiden there, who's running in a very good position. As where are these guys going to come out is the crucial thing, though. This is probably going to be why Casper didn't want to stop, because look at them. They're going to be down there in 11th and 12th out the pit, so they've lost a huge amount of time. And I mean, you've got to think that Casper, even on those intermediate tyres, they will be able to last a little bit longer in this race. Good to see, by the way, Cam and Joachim both in the top 10. Cam saying he wanted to retire earlier on. I told him not to, and now look where he is. He's in 7th. So, all things come to those who are patient, as I say, and he's doing well so far in 7th. Alas, a lot of people have stopped.
And you said he was doing well, and he's got a time penalty. Well done, Liam.
See, this is why I don't speak, because every time I say something, it immediately happens. So, there we are. Tell you what, though, Slender and Flexi, I probably think they're going to be a little bit frustrated here, because they've got to have to overtake a lot of cars here now, aren't they? If you look at them, if they want to get back near the front, they'll have fresh tyres. Sure, they can do what Timo did, but we know Timo's been on an extremely good run of form of late.
Yeah, he is, and if you're not careful enough, Liam, then your championship could be over at a drop of a hat. After this race, we will have 3 more rounds to go. After Japan, we've got Singapore, we've got Brazil, and we've got Canada. 3 very different tracks indeed, and you want to be scoring as much point as you can, pretty much as early as you possibly can. And to be honest, the top 2 in the championship are the top 2 on the road, but the other way around, of course. So, Casper could pretty much outscore Timo today if he wins this race, and it could be no, not quite level on points, but I think Timo will still be leading by 2 points if Casper wins. So that could be an interesting dead heat, not gonna lie, as well. As I'm just trying to see if anyone's having any trouble. Oh, as Newgarden has had a bit of a slide through spoon. So he's had a bit of trouble there at the moment, as, well, we'll see who's gained the most positions once again, because the positions have changed once more, but we don't know if anyone's going to pit or not. Cam and Joachim up 12 and 10 positions respectively, so is Dow, by the way. And like you said earlier, Liam, good things come to those who wait. He was like a 12, 13, 14 earlier, and because he's on nice intermediate tyres, he's up in 5th position. Can he keep it there? He's got some fast drivers behind him, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty well this afternoon. He's just been keeping himself. He's had a few incidents. He's had a little bit of touch and go with a few people. Apart from that, he's just been keeping himself to himself, which is exactly what you want to be doing. You don't want to be rubbing up the wrong ends on your debut, but he's been doing well, to be fair for him. He's having some nice battles. He's just doing what he needs to be doing right now, picking up the pieces. Hopefully we see him finish in a decent result this afternoon, as well as a lot of cars behind that are going to be coming through the field, the likes of Deck. We've got Mike, Slender, Flexi, all hoping to come through the field. The safety car should be in at the end of this lap, meaning we will have 12 laps to go here in Suzuka, Japan. Then for the Japanese Grand Prix, and a race which is always marked by some fantastic moments as well. And like I said, we've seen many a battle. The first Japanese Grand Prix, by the way, fun fact, televised as well. That was the first F1 race officially live televised. That was 1976. That was when James Hunt and Niki Lauda went for the championship. Fun fact, it was also in, we won't say in similar conditions. It was in a monsoon condition, what might we say, back then in 1976. Conditions that very much you wouldn't run in these days. Well, Niki Lauda, of course, pulled it into the pit lane. Very much, of course, if you want to watch that. There's a nice film called Rust you can watch, which is, I do adore that film as well. Nice soundtrack by Matt Zimmer as well.
Safety car's in, Liam.
Yes, the safety car in. Enough of me waffling on about music, which I do like. We've got some different music. That's the sound of these V6 turbo hybrid motors going on there. And then T. Casper, for the second time this afternoon, hoping for a bit more of a better start as he comes through the Casio triangle. Oh, careful, Timo, don't hit the rear of him. And he's timed that perfectly. But so is Timo then, so Timo's going to come with him. So is Kieran, so top three. Staying with everyone else, looks like they've all got themselves off the line pretty correctly. Here comes Darren to the outside of number one. Won't quite do it that way. Don't try up the inside, won't work, my friend. He thinks of it, but does find that the nose isn't going to be far enough the inside as he can do. Flexi and Slenderman there battling. There's a bit of contact, or was that just a bit of a slide there for Ryan? It was Tony, and then other Ryan, and NA, Newgarden, Mike and Lee both in the pits for a new nose. So looks like the two Alpha Tauris have come a cropper somewhere in this race. But Casper's going to be under pressure, Jess, because look here at Timo. He is coming at a rate of bullets.
He is, and you're not going to rely on the DRS to get you anywhere as well for Timo, so he's got to do it pretty much to perfection at the moment as well. And obviously you're on the fresher tyres, Timo, so you have the better excuse to try and get past, whereas Casper, if he defends, then it's a miracle. But anyway, Flexi does get past Slenderman, or does he? How the old design? Yes, he does. As they head towards Spoon Curve, Mike has just picked him up himself a 3-second time penalty. So that adds to the penalty board 6 drivers now with penalties, everyone else having none at all. So let's jump to the leaders. And Timo's got a perfect opportunity right here and right now. And is he going to take the lead right now? To the left-hand side, to the right, to the left once again. He's chopping and changing at the moment, but he's sticking to his line. He's sticking to his word. He's doing a Hulkenberg, see you later. But is Casper going to challenge it? He is going to challenge it. Turn one they go. S's can be very tricky at the worst of times. There's Kieran as well. Oh. But Timo went the long way round and gets the lead from Casper. And I think we're starting to see why those old old intermediate tyres are starting to slip away. Everyone else is pitted in this race, apart from Casper. Maybe him not pitting is coming back to bite him, because it won't be that long before the other cars behind him will catch up. Timo is leading. Yeah, Timo there with an optimistic move there. He went around the outside, timed that to perfection to the old switcheroo. There was a bit of contact at turn number one, but they got away with it. It was end plate to rear right tyre, so hopefully no damage would have been done. It was a very light tap, if that, so I've seen heavier taps and it's done damage. But like I say, Casper on those tyres that are wearing, but he's doing so far so good, to be fair, staying 18 laps. Normally I thought those tyres go off. Talking of people going off, oh, it's Cam!
Cam who's out this race. Safety car.
Third one of the day.
You know what I said about Cam earlier on? He's doing well. It's really not gone quite well, has it?
I think we need to stop speaking, Liam, and let just the engines just, you know, because we keep saying stuff about people doing well and then they just bin it, but always just they don't like Suzuka. I think it's the latter, Liam. I think it's the latter. People just don't like Suzuka, okay? But surely Casper's got to pit now. He'll be on the freshest tyres. He's going to lose a bit more time, believe it or not, and he's in. He's in a bit later than intended, but at least he's going in now. He's going to lose quite a chunk of time, but to be honest, he's made his bed. He's got to lie on it. He's made his decision. He's got to pretty much stick with it, and now that promotes Kieran up to P2. So there's 5 people on 11 lap old Inters, and then the one who on the freshest Inters is Flexi in P6. Deck is on 11 lap old Inters as well. Then we've got Slenderman on 3 lap old Inters along with Ryan Berry. Tony is on 6 laps. Matt Ryan, Ahmed and Ugans on 3 laps. Obviously we had Tony, Mike and Lee that just pitted quite recently, so quite a bit of a mixed bag. So Inter still for them as well. We've never had a race which has been just fully wet before, or without the use of dry tyres, which is quite interesting. People have mainly been practicing in the dry, and surprisingly, we've only got 3 retirements. For saying that, there may be. Right. I'll shut up because there could be more things that happen. But anyway, let us know how you think this race is going to pan out, and make sure you do follow us on Twitter, like this video, and turn notifications on so you know when to check out our streams next. We stream every Wednesday at 8 PM, and if you're watching this back and not watching this live, then where have you been on Wednesday nights at 8 PM? The best time and the best place to watch VSL is now, pretty much, as in 8 PM. So make sure you tune in to us live next week. That'll be amazing. But I think we're waiting for Mike, Tony and Lee to catch up to the safety car. So the safety car will be in for one final lap. So I think I'm sure we had 1 VSC and 3 safety cars. So I think we've either run out of safety cars after this one, or I don't know.
Oh, we 100% won't run out of safety cars. We can get as many safety cars as we like in this race, as long as it's before lap 25. Now, I'm seeing Cam, by the way, saying that he wasn't given any space. That is the right. He's out of this race. So he hasn't dropped it. He's had contact then, and presumably with someone. So I'm trying to think who was near him. It could have been Ryan, but I'm not going to say point fingers to say who's who. And the stewards might have a look at that potentially later on if there was no room given. But rotten luck for poor old Cam, who I said to carry on. He was doing well, and now he's not in the race. So all ends well, I suppose. Safety car in the end of this lap, which is presumable because it is the Aston Martin 1-2 now, by the way. Now, I tell you what, I prefer the safety car than the Aston Martin because green and yellow works more than green and pink, and I shall die on that hill right there because it just looks like a watermelon. I mean, I don't like watermelon. I like strawberries. That's probably the only fruit I like. But I guess Flexi, I mean, he's strawberry, I guess. The car's red, so it's got green on it as well. So I technically correct. But if I was trying to say what fruit looks like each car, I mean, you've got a watermelon. I don't know what fruit's got. It's red and white, so maybe a raspberry, I guess, maybe. An orange, I guess, because, I mean, it is orange. I don't know what. A raisin, I guess, can be a Mercedes. Then we've got, I don't even know what a white fruit is. So then we've got strawberry. We've got a blue thing, a blueberry, I guess. I don't know, Jess.
You're talking absolutely bonkers.
I've gone mad, haven't I, here in the commentary box. This race is going on for so long, and I was talking about fruit. What's your favourite fruits?
I like strawberry.
Good, excellent.
That's my favourite fruit. Strawberry or raspberry. Either one. But strawberry's better in my opinion. But I like apricot yogurt, just not the actual fruit. So
yes,
you know, but I like strawberry as a fruit and as a yogurt. So there we go. So yes. It's very nice. It's very juicy, in fact. But yeah, let's know what. No, let's not let you know because we still got a race. I think safety cars should be in this. We are going bonkers, as you can tell in the chat. Yes, somehow we
Only
managed to
with
get
me.
through our technical difficulties. Safety car should come in
Now.
right now. There we go. That's good timing.
Oh, that got a bit close. Timo, back straight up into Kieran. One of these days I'll get who's doing what right soon enough. I just can't speak right now. I'm having a tongue twister every 5 seconds as they twist themselves down into the Casio triangle. And when is Timo going to go? Probably right about now. And away he goes, a little bit squiggle on the rear end as they all just about get on the front. Iceman having a bit of a tag slapper as well as they all come down towards the straight. Here is Flexi to the inside, but everyone getting go stuck. Here is the opportunity as Yellow as there is Mike off, presumably in the background, as Kai looked up the inside. Dara ahead of Iceman as Newgarden drops behind Casper as they all squiggle themselves up the S for the first time on that 21 then, so their 21st attempt up the S section. A few people making the moves as well, Jazz.
Yes, quite a bit of chaos in the safety car restart, not gonna lie. As
careful.
These guys, they're leaving no margin for error right now, and there's gonna be some point where if they do take so many risks, then it could end their race. And then I said that, Mike's bum.
Yes. See, there, talking of the devil's advocate of mistakes, I was thinking that the other AlphaTauri could see they made a mistake, and it's the other AlphaTauri that makes the mistakes. So, what do I know? Ryan Berry battling with Tony on the exit there. As you can see, Tony swooping around the outside, NA getting passed by Casper, who's on a flight. Tony having a mistake, and there is Mike. Again, he's got a lot of damage. I think he's might have floor damage potentially, or he's overheated his tyres, or both. Ideally, potentially, well, overly not ideally, unideally. He's cooked both of those tyres. Dara on a charge right now, looking for third position. He hasn't got a penalty, remember, whilst the likes of Kieran does, so he wants to try and get past these guys gentle and carefully as possible. Doesn't want to make any mistakes so far, but he's on so far so course for a potential podium position this afternoon, which potentially is going to be a very good result. Timo flying up front, fast lap of this race, 138.5. Won't be surprised to see the likes of Casper starting to wheel that one in. Flexi, meanwhile, looking for a move up the inside. He'll get the move up into turn number 2, technically on the curb. He's going to give him a bit of a squeeze. There's a bit of contact. I don't think he's going to get that one up right now. Be brave to try and wing it. He's still there. He's still there. He's having to back out. He's still trying to be there, but he can't be there enough because eventually he has to back out of it. But good old effort there for Flexi, who was side by side for a good long moment. Yarham, though, holding a stellar defence.
He is. Yarham, he's actually having a lot better race than the first half of the race, to be honest, as Mike is out there. He retired in the pit lane. I thought he'd been in the wall or something, but no, he's retired in the pit lane. So that is his race over, unfortunately. Yarham just got a 3-second time penalty in the process, which is a bit of a shame, as Casper has got past Matt Ryan into the hairpin. He's finding it more tricky than it sounds to get past these cars, but Japan is not an easy track to overtake, so understandable. But he's on the freshest tyres out of everybody, so no excuses for Casper. But we will get to a point where the ones on 14 lap old enters, they're going to be in a little trouble very soon, because look who's behind them. Mr. Flexi in the Ferrari on a charge.
Yeah, Flexi starting to get on that charge then. He's got these intermediate tyres warmed up. He's been hounding the back of Yarham the last couple of moments, especially since the safety car restart. As you can see, Timo flying up road. Let's see what Flexi can do in terms of his fast lap as well. That really been an indicator, 39.9. So Timo, who's so fast, got the aces up the sleeve. He's got the clean track ahead of them. The rest of these guys all stuck in bits of traffic as now Casper up into 10th position. Iceman with over a 3-second time penalty. That's his 6th this afternoon. So far for him, as only a few people have really picked up penalties here in the rain at Suzuki. Yarham off the road, as he will be lucky there, but he's going to be compromised. Here is Flexi with a little bit of ingenious positioning there on the exit. Passes Yarham, who's unfortunately a little bit on the grass, has dirty turns, can't do a lot about that. So now Flexi go and chase down Iceman, and then presumably see if he can get on the back of Dara, who is so far in that 3rd position. Iceman really not in the position to attack so far. Dara just positioning the car pretty much exactly where he needs to do so.
He is. I mean, he could be on for his first podium, and look at that. He's got no penalties as well, so he could beat Kieran potentially as well as Tony. That was close through Spoon there. Oh my goodness, he's up to P8 at the moment. Not that long to go until the end of this race, and we could see some potential ambitious moves now. They got to really. Some people are still in this championship fight, and if they don't make the moves now, they could be out of it as of end of tonight. So 3 temps separating between himself and Iceman. Well, Iceman and Dow actually at the moment. Can Iceman get Dow back? It's going to be close as we're on lap 24 out of 27. As Dow goes wide, it could be Iceman's breakthrough, and now Dara gets the penalty. No, Dara.
Oh, it's like I've not been so disappointed since Shrek 2. Right there, that is, rotten luck. He was doing so well
on his debut as well,
and I had to ruin it. I've ruined it again. See, welcome to VSL. We've cursed him. Oh no, it's gone horribly. Now he's got to try and get back ahead. He can still get the podium. He's still technically on the podium, to be fair, because Iceman has got that penalty. But look who's following swiftly and closely. It is Mr. Flex. Is Iceman a bit of a twitch on the rear end? And Slenderman battling us all. Off the road there is Tony, as he's hit the side of someone. I don't know who he's at the side of, but he's hit the side of someone, but he's gone off the road as Dara trying to get back behind Iceman. He gets a good exit through here. Just about, but Iceman with his slide he's got in this afternoon. Now we're pushing the ERS. It'll be brave stuff to come through into the Casio Triangle, but is this the opportunity he's looking for? And from out, he's hit him on the outside and straight on the pair of them go. And that was
10-second penalty for Dara.
And a 10-second time penalty, and wow, that was not the opportunity he was looking for, and well, certainly that is out of the race for his position for the podium. Tried it, the Iceman squeezed in, there was contact, and unfortunately the front wing somehow I think's fine.
What a miracle for Dara, but he's going to drop way down the order as well. They make a bit of contact. Keep it clean, boys. I think they're just pushing it to the limit at the moment. Yeah, Dara's got damage. Both Iceman, Flexi and Yarham have just got past him.
What rotten luck for poor old Dara, who's pulling over. I think he's out of this, really. I think he's just coming through. Must be careful, though, as the car's come through, because it's very easy to get a tag stab. But luckily, he's ghosted him right there as well. But that is Crow luck for the man who was doing so well. Here is Casper going around the outside of deck. Now, what a late maneuver from the car of the Ferrari of Casper. He goes deep on the brakes, but is Acorn gonna fight it back? Thinks of it. Casper says, no, thank you very much. Covers that one off. And now back up into 6th position for him. This is a strong recovery drive so far for him, but it's Timo leading this race from Kieran in 2nd, sliding the rear end ahead of Iceman now in 3rd, but won't finish 3rd because Flexi so far is in 3rd, as long as he doesn't pick up 6 seconds of penalties. Yarham in 5th, then from Casper, then comes Dex Slender looking up the inside. Not the brave enough there. Might try the old switcheroo and then try to do the double switcheroo. Don't hit the pit wall, my friend, as he gets himself nice on the power. And let's see, inside Dex going to cover. He's going to have to try and dummy him out left. And indeed, Fother is going to go for the dummy deck there. Stops it on the line. 26 of 27, Jess. And so far, relatively, a decent race for everyone, apart from all those that we've spoken of.
And saying
Can't make this up, can you, Jess?
Dara's now out. He was high in the pit lane.
Off goes Tony! Oh, Tony, who I was about to say something as well, is off! Oh no, Tony! Oh dear. Oh, well, this has gone tragically for me in the commentary box, Jazz. See, this is what happens when you give me a commentary box at Suzuka. Everyone dies, it seems. We'll finish this race eventually. We've got 1 lap to go. Please, can we all finish this race? Yes, we've got 1 lap after this 1 lap. So we've got 2 laps. Well, 1 and a bit. 1 and 4 quarters? Yeah, we'll say that.
Yes, as Timo has been leading for quite a while. Didn't have the best of starts, to be honest, but he's got 1.5 laps to go and not bin it. Tough task.
Oh, Slender!
Slenderman's gone off as well, almost, as he's been passed by Ryan Berry as well. But if he just keeps it on the road, he can score points.
Well, here's Flex and Johan battling together. Dara's out of the session completely. He's left. Here is Johan up the inside. He can't quite do it. Has to go and open the ERS again. He's got none of the ERS to play with, so Flexi can, as long as he doesn't go too wide, he's got that position covered. Indeed, he has got so right now. But it's Timo so far on his merry way. Then he's been leading most of this race from earlier on. He had a terrible start, but he's made up for it so far. And he's just got a few bits to go as he comes through the first set. Nick Kieran's doing a very decent job in second. Iceman, I will say, in that third position from what happened earlier on. Somehow, after the, well, having a monumental slide, as a few people have, they've all pretty much got themselves back in the position. Casper, he's going to be frustrated, I reckon. Should he have stopped earlier on? Yes, is the answer to that one. Did he stop? No, he didn't. And has he paid for his sins? Yes, he has paid for his sins because he's down in 6th position. Right behind Johan and Flexi as well. Further back, Ryan, Slender, Ryan, N8. Then comes Lee, Tony, and then Newgarden. But we'll cut to a race leader as he comes then down towards 130R. And you know I'm going to have to say it, Jess, any second. But here comes Timo as he comes then down towards the chicane. He took the lead. He very much has stayed there. And through the chicane will come Timo. Very gently, very gingerly. Casper gets a penalty. But here comes Timo to win the Japanese Grand Prix. Just about there as he wiggles across the line. So does Kieran. So does Iceman. So does everyone. Flexi on the podium. Yarm in 4th. Casper's lost his wheel on the start line. What's he done? I don't quite know. Acorn in 7th. Ryan in 8th. Slenderman's upside down. Oh my dear lord, there's a monumental shunt. Oh god.
That was weird. That was like a VSL car park there.
What's been this race, Jazz? What a carnetic race.
Well, Timo will definitely extend his championship lead now because Casper has dropped a few positions at the moment. So, yeah, we're going to wait and see what the next 3 races have in store. But we've got a Mercedes, Mercedes, Ferrari, and a Ferrari on the podium, if you know, you know, basically. But, and by the way, actually, interesting fact, even though Honda are not doing and sponsoring Red Bull this season, they are sponsoring the Japanese Grand Prix in real life this season, which is good. Great to see, isn't it?
Indeed, I think Timo's won this title, Jazz, potentially.
No.
No, is he not?
No, because the gap was 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. The gap was 6 points before tonight. So not quite.
Got left?
We've got 3 more rounds, Liam.
Okay, it's definitely not over. No, I
you
just
were
don't know
too keen. Anyway, Liam, what are the provisional results?
It is Timo then from Kieran, then from Flexi, Johan, Mr. Rice of Speed, then comes Casper, then comes Mr. Acorny Deck, then comes Mr. Matt Ryan, and then comes, well, the other Ryan, then comes N8, then comes Tony, then Slender down in 12th, Lee ahead of Newgarden, Tony in 15th, Dara in 16th, ahead of Mike and Gam, and then Aiden, and Red Matt unfortunately didn't do many laps because he was out of the race. And that is your result, and that, in about 2 seconds, will be the end of the session. There we go.
And Casper gets some extra bonus points for getting the fastest lap and finishing inside the top 12. So, he's got some consolation points right there. And, well, if your name's not Timo, it's going to be quite tough, I think, to recover the gap that Timo has now, because it is going to be quite big at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. But before we end the stream, I've forgotten to mention something I was going to mention before the race, but someone readied up too early, so I couldn't. Tut tut. So make sure you check out our sponsor, Rogue Energy. You can use the code VSL F1 League for 10% off. You can go onto their website, rogueenergy.com. Do check them out. They are amazing products, not gonna lie. They are amazing. And Liam, would you like to remind the lovely people that are watching right now how to enter the F1 22 giveaway?
Yes, we do have an F1 22 giveaway, of course, and if you want to enter that, do follow VSL's Twitter, which is, it is, hang on, let's try to remember it. Hang on, no, I've got this, Jess. It is VSL_F1. I had to look it up. I'm very terrible at apps. And to enter it, by the way, what you do is like and retweet the post. Follow them on Twitter and you will enter the giveaway as well. There's a nice fancy graphic for the Champions Edition as well. I believe it's for all consoles. I'm not 100% certain on that one, but I'm pretty certain
I think
it
it probably is. You can get it cheaper on PC, so why wouldn't they get it? Want to get it on PC too? So yeah, I think it should. I will double check, but it should be on all platforms. So if you have if you want the game on PC or Xbox, I think you should enter too. But it's obviously I didn't organise this giveaway, so I will need to double check about that one. Any final thoughts before we wrap up the stream, Liam?
What I will say is this has been a kinetic race. I've been lost through this race, the entire race, which has been absolutely carnage. I've loved every second of it. I've loved commentating with you this afternoon. It's been beautiful in this, well, I'm not saying this afternoon, it's an evening. I don't know what even time it is anymore. But I'll pass it back over to you before I start rambling.
Yes, because we're about to wrap up the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out VSL_F1 on Twitter. And we have an Instagram now, people, which is amazing. It's the same as our Twitter, at VSL_F1, I think. And you can also follow us on Discord as well. Also, make sure you follow us on our personal Twitters. I'm at JessGames95 and Liam's is
Liam New Media, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Good. I know my own Twitter thing.
You should know, you had it for so long. But anyway,
yeah.
I've been Jessica Bull. Evil Dragon has been Liam New. We will see you same time next week for, and I've almost forgotten what track it was next week, but I do know now. It will be the Singapore Grand Prix, a track where it will be a test of endurance, but more about that next week. Will Timo take one step closer to having his dream go alive for a bit longer? We will see. Have a good evening. See you next week, same time at 8 o'clock. Bye-bye.